by Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care, cruelty-free, by the real Paul Mitchell in salons only. And by Powerade, the official sports drink of the Olympic Games. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, and 10,000 other sun worshippers from Fort Myers Beach getting ready for our championship final. Karch Kirai, Kent Steffes, Eduardo Basile, nicknamed Anginho, and Jose Loyola. This is the Miller Lite Open as Kent Steffes puts the ball down. Our first referee is Jimmy Leonard. And our second official, Alan Siegel. I told Alan Siegel before the match, I said, Alan, what's your full name? I haven't seen you much. He says, I've been on the tour for 4 years. I said, I haven't seen you much in TV games, apparently. Steffes with a dig. Nice
that made
block.
Him feel good.
Over to Loyola.
Oh, nice shot.
And he chops it. Did it go over?
No,
it didn't go over. And a
nice
point.
shot for Kirai and Steffes. Karch on the run that time. I thought he couldn't get it from that angle, but dropped on the side of the Brazilians.
You know, you can say cliche that a good start is necessary, but especially for the Brazilians to get the confidence against Karch and Kent.
Well, when the Brazilians beat Karch and Kent, albeit an indoor beach championship, the Brazilians beat them 14-13 on time. Were in it the entire way. And there's the good-looking start. And that's from the bad side. Remember, Anginho and Loyola finished fortuitously on the other side against Stoklos and Johnson in the semifinals. I'll tell you, with the wind, that is a great serve. Again, the conditions absolutely perfect.
Off the side of Loyola, out of bounds.
And if you're wondering, Anginho and Loyola, this is not new territory for them in terms of being in the finals. Their first year out, they appeared in a couple of finals, and last year to the finals, the prestigious Hermosa Beach Open, and also to the Cuervo finals in Santa Cruz.
These stats on Karch Kirai, now 34 years old, still in fabulous shape. Here comes Loyola. We're tied at 1, and Loyola puts it away. So Loyola, the blocker, will stay at the net. His partner Anginho back to serve. Paul has mentioned that he's had a sore knee as he looks at Steffes and Kirai, trying to decide who to serve. Most likely it will be Steffes or Kirai.
50-50. Nice choppy by Karch Kirai. You're wondering why Kirai and Steffes are so good, because about 95% of all their plays look just like that. Perfect pass to the net, good set in terms of location and distance from the net, and the opponent blocking them.
Kent Steffes with 74 wins, 4th on the all-time list. Steffes is there. Chance for a point. He gets up, and Loyola with a dig back.
Good sets.
And Jose buries it.
Anginho just goes about his business. Great passer, good defensive player, and certainly becoming one of the better setters on the beach. Loyola, the more fiery of the two. There's another reason why Steffes and Kirai are pretty good. They play great defense. Loyola back here digging the ball, keeps his team in the point. Beautiful bump set by Anginho to set up his partner.
1-1. Over. And Anginho makes the dig. Steffes trying to get loose fast. Off Karch. And the open hand dig. Anginho thought Karch was going to get up there and block it, and Karch did a smart thing. He pulled his hands down.
Well, it's against the rules to dink or tip the ball on the beach with an open hand. And Karch, seeing the open hand coming, it's a pretty good ploy. Pull your hands down, force the violation. Of course, Anginho expecting Karch to try to push it back in his face. That's why he had his hand open in the first place. Follows that up with an unforced error across court. Can't give up runs. Kirai and Steffes will just absolutely roll. You got to stop right now, get a side out if you're the Brazilians. Tough serve.
Anginho rolls it down the line. Interestingly, Anginho did not take any warm-up hits before this championship final. He's playing with bandages on both feet, arch supports, Paul, in addition to the knee injury.
Well, the medical tent this morning looked like a MASH unit. Tim Brown, the tour doctor, said a lot of foot problems, a lot of knee problems, and a lot of back problems because it rained so much yesterday.
Here we go.
Get back to that in a second. Tough serve by Anginho.
Steffes rejected.
Loyola off to a good start blocking the ball. He's had his hands on a couple and never has any difficulty getting his hands up to get the crowd behind him. Steffes with a good play defensively. Never really gets a look to see where Loyola is as a blocker. The set's coming over Steffes' head. Loyola's right on him. Throw there by Kirai in the side change.
So a good serve by Anginho sets up a point. Karch throws the ball, and suddenly at the first side change, the Brazilians have the lead. 3-2. We're coming back. Stay with us.
Championship match.
Glad you're with us. Wherever you have come from, wherever you are. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, 5-2. Anginho Loyola have jumped out on the former Kings of the Beach, Kirai and Kent Steffes. And the ball whacked straight down by Kirai.
See, out of the timeout, you got to get back to Steffes once again. You just scored 2 points against him, one on a hitting error, one on a play ruled an ace by referee Jim Leonard, and you come out of the timeout and you serve Kirai. You can't make those sort of mistakes. You got to get right back on Steffes.
So really, so far, as Steffes goes and gets it. Great play, ball's up in the air, and Jose pokes it back. Got to get it higher over Loyola. Anginho with a dig.
Very important set.
And he puts it away. Wow, the Brazilians are playing great.
Really good ball control by both defensive players, giving passes that can be dug, can be played. You see the pass running behind his head by Kent Steffes. This one's drilled cross court. And Anginho right in the perfect spot. That one's going down.
Kent Steffes whacks it. You know, I said last week that he had to pay over $200,000 in taxes. He corrected me at dinner last night. He said, Chris, it was over $300,000 in taxes that I had to pay.
I told him he didn't have enough write-offs, and he said, no, I just had a good year, Paul. I got plenty of write-offs. Thank you.
All right, 5-2. And Karch, did he get it? No, that one was into the sand.
Anginho taking a look at the block first. You can see he's never really going to hit that ball. He's looking to shoot it the entire time, waiting for a call from his partner, chopping that one cross court. Never got his right arm, that weapon of his, in real good hitting position.
Working on Steffes. Steffes whacks it down the line. So Kent Steffes, we mentioned that Steffes had won 74 tournaments, 62 with Karch. He's also got 5 wins with Adam Johnson, 5 with Hovland, 1 with Dan Verbalovich, and 1 with John Stevenson. Rounding out the 74 that he has. Steffes also a very versatile player. Loyola beans it.
And of course the one without Kirai that always sticks in my mind was in San Jose when Karch dumped Kent, went back to Brent Frohoff, and then the very next week they met in the finals.
Right.
Steffes was playing with Dan Verbalovich and beat Kirai and Frohoff in the finals of that tournament.
That was a great one.
Steffes enjoyed it.
5-2. Score remains in favor. Another block. Brazil, and Jose Loyola has his team up 6-2.
Hey, the cut shot was wide open, no doubt about that, but you got to get it over the top of Jose Loyola. Look at that. Anginho's way over in the left side guarding the line. That whole corridor was open.
Jose is pumped up, too. They go to Karch, and Karch is pumped up, and he rockets one down the line.
Yeah, but once again, you just scored off Steffes. Why are you serving Kirai? Do you want to see old Pinky Hat drill the ball into the beach?
I think Loyola just said, I'm going to hit this marshmallow as hard as I can, and wherever it lands and squishes, that'll be fine.
Well, and
you don't agree
the
with
result.
That?
No, you got to get it on Steffes in that situation, I think.
All right. Going to Anginho, and Anginho sizzles the pits of Kent Steffes. That was a very low hit. You see Anginho 6 feet, 180 pounds. That can't be right, can it? Isn't he taller than that?
We'll measure him next week.
He's in between 6 feet and 6'3". Let's say that. As that ball hits sand.
Cross-court hammer to the right side by Kent Steffes.
And the side out, 6-2, game to 15. Of course, if you're familiar with beach volleyball, you know that the Brazilians have to win this game and a game to 7 to capture this tournament.
Going
and
way
ball
long.
out of bounds.
Yeah, Kirai and Steffes are on the bad side. Wind at the back. Very difficult. We saw that in the semifinals as well with Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos missing a couple of jump serves at a crucial juncture in the latter stages of the semifinal match. Really helps, of course, to be bombing the ball into the wind.
Line.
And Karch is into the bottom of the net. Wow. 7-2 now. And Gino Loyola.
Unforced errors, very infrequent for Kirai and Steffes. That went into the bottom of the tape. Loyola is bombing jump serves. This
Oh, an ace!
B. Lee called that one in.
And the former Kings of the Beach can't believe it. They're saying that thing is out. Karch and Kent are at the end line. And they're still arguing. They're saying it's way out.
See, just because the rope moves doesn't mean that it's in. Sand can kick onto the rope and make it move. You can see where Karch...
Wait, they're going to bring Jim Leonard down. He's coming off to take a look. Hold your horses, everybody. The Brazilians have never beaten Kirai and Steffes in a game to 15, but right now they are on their way. 6:01 to go. It is 8-2, Brazil. Back at the Miller Lite Open here in Fort Myers Beach. What great fans they have in this part of the country. The tournament seeds, Karch, Kirai, and Kent Steffes #1 by a mile. Dodd, Whitmarsh, Johnson, and Stokes was pretty close.
It is indeed. Basile, Anginho, and Loyola. Fanoy, Moana, and Ludes. They finished 5th this week. And certainly a team to be... Well, they're a big and physical team when you look at them out on the court. And I think they'll do very well in the next couple of weeks.
Karch and Kent are trailing 8-2. The Brazilians have been fired up. Loyola dominating the net.
Karch, you know they're coming out of that timeout saying, look, we're on the good side. We really got to make a dent in that big lead by the Brazilians, and Karch trying to crank it up.
Karch is mad right now, Paul.
Well,
you and I know him well,
Absolutely.
and he's got that look when he gets the lips together.
Well, it's 8-2. The key to this match, right? I'm telling you, is right now. What is the differential at the next side change?
All right. Check it out. And Karch is pounding. You're not going to see any little loopy shots from Karch the rest of this game. Kirai and Steffes trailing by 6. Plenty of time left, 5:49 to go in what could be our first final.
It was 3-2 at the first side change. Excuse me, Chris, and then Brazilians got all 5 points from the good side.
And Gino rolls it sideways. I wonder if Karch and Kent came into this particular match very overconfident. I mean, they've thumped the Brazilians so many times, they know Anginho's kind of hurt. Maybe they didn't take him seriously.
Does that sound like Karch and Kent?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, maybe a little bit. Maybe they're very businesslike and come out usually very, very focused indeed. But, you know, I think the Brazilians got on a roll. They're a very emotional team. And Kirai and Steffes not executing particularly well at the beginning of this match. We'll see what happens, like I said, at the next side change.
Steffes, great one-arm dig. High loopy, that's out of bounds. I've watched the Brazilians play a lot, and I know you have too. This is the best I've ever seen play against Karch and Kent. They are just playing unbelievably.
They're playing good defense.
Yeah.
They're limiting their errors. And in spite of the
converting.
fact...
How about converting those points?
Absolutely converting when they get some digs or soft blocks. Even though I think strategically they've made a few mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I... You know, who am I to say? They're up 8-2.
Yeah. And Gino is there. 9 could be coming up. Not yet. Look at that. Karch goes and gets it. Trying to save a point is Karch, and he puts it away.
Yeah, write that one down. That was a big play.
Could have been 9-2.
Yeah, and a point from the bad side. Psychologically, this was a huge opportunity for the Brazilians. Karch blocks the ball and then stays in it. And then there's no poking around, like you said.
Yeah, no.
He's not happy right now, and he's going hard.
Jump serve, and Steffes having problems. Of course, with Karch not poking it around, that might be good for Loyola and Gino in a certain way. Because if Loyola blocks one of Karch's, it's going down. Because he's hitting it so hard, and Jose is tall and can really jump.
Serving well right now.
Steffes has no heat. Angelino with the dig. And he puts it away. Little Angel on fire. Call the devil.
He's a quiet angel. He lets his game do all his talking for him. His partner will take care of everything else. But you're right. Steffes is letting that ball get way too far inside him. He's really just cuffing it at the defense. And Angelino is eating up Steffes' cross court right now. And they do put the point on the board from the bad side.
You got it. Block the line and have Angelino dig in. 9-2. Kirai and Steffes being hammered at the moment. If you're driving to Fort Myers Beach, you want to watch the rest of this, forget it. Every seat has been sold, and there aren't any left. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, good final going on. Good in terms of the Brazilians have a huge lead on Kirai and Steffes, the #1 seed team, the #1 team in the world, and they are playing beautifully.
I'll tell you, Angelino's got 5 digs. Loyola's got 2 stuff blocks. The team of Kirai and Steffes, no stuff blocks.
9-2. Angelino looping it. Karch goes and gets it. Could be 3 coming up. And Karch cranks it through the block.
Loopy down the line, and Kirai is all over that. The key, of course, to the play, get it defensively. Steffes just put the ball somewhere near the net in the middle of the court where Kirai can take a rip or poke it around.
Little lob, spin serve, and he's lobbing it out of bounds. 4 minutes, 51 seconds to go in the game. 9-3, Angelino and Loyola.
Bad set. That ball's way inside.
Angelino with a dig, and Loyola can't get there.
I think Steffes, first of all, has got to pass the ball better. They're on the good side. Steffes has got to get into a bit more of a groove. And Karch, I think, needs to push Kent a little bit wider. That set's dying inside, and Steffes is not getting good heat on it.
Remember, if you know about the chemistry of Karch and Kent, Steffes will never ask Karch to change his setting. It's up to Karch to ask him, are those sets crummy? Are they bad? What should I do? And then Steffes might tell him something. But in terms of communicating about the pass in the set, Kirai and Steffes don't do that quite as well. They just keep playing. They don't say much to each other.
And it's something that they've tried to improve on a couple of years ago. They felt they lost some finals because their communication was not quite right. But that set was wider. And you could see Kirai get a little bit farther away from the ball so he could step into the set, push that ball a little bit wider for Steffes. Arms extended. See, look at where that ball is. Across Steffes' body into the good hitting zone, not dropping way inside on him.
Loyola, Steffes. And Steffes puts it away. Off the block, out of bounds. Point, Kirai, Steffes. Make it 9-4 now. I've noticed something about Steffes. On the right side, it seems like he takes so long to hit. But on the left, he can boing up and crank it. Gives credence to your theory a long time ago that he would have been a better left side player.
Well, I think his footwork and his mechanics make him a natural left-sider. But when the king of the beach, the best player in the world, is a left-sider and asks you to play, you move over to the right.
Kirai and Steffes, obviously the #1 team in the world last year. 17 of 21 events they won. Johnson had 4 wins. Dodd and Whitmarsh with 3. Stoklos with 3.
Adam Johnson's, of course, the addition of the king of the beach. That's why Stoklos and Johnson, who played together all last season, do not have.
Well, I'll tell you something interesting. Karch told me that they're not counting the king of the beach as an official win. It's not considered an AVP win anymore. So I'd be interested to see, because Karch has 3 King of the Beach wins, does he not? Angelino down the line.
Well, it doesn't. It counts as a win in that calendar year, 1994.
But it doesn't count on your career total?
Hey, we don't make them up, pal. We
I'm
just report
asking
them.
you. I'm just asking you.
You got to ask
if
somebody else
Karch's
about
3 don't count, then Adams' 1 shouldn't count. If they all count, they all should count. If that makes any sense. 9-4 is our score. Here comes Kent.
That one dropped
right to Angelino, looking for 10. Little Angel, yes!
Right down the line, from outside by
Angelino nursing a bad wheel, playing good defense, and really good chop around the block here. Look at that. So you see Steffes having to reach inside, hit the ball back to the line, and really good set in
Definitely
transition.
a problem, I think, Paul, in terms of the setting and Steffes' approach to the hitting. Karch with a bump.
That was better. And it's a fine line. We're talking about the ball dropping about over Steffes' nose.
Right.
Or out to his right shoulder. It's
Okay.
a difference of about, a foot and a half. But it's crucial. Ball travels across the body of a right side player. That's where Steffes is located. And it's hard for you to hit the ball if it doesn't get out there.
Karch and Kent trailing by 6. And Gino dink. Karch goes and gets it. Steffes! Yes. 10-5 as Kirai and Steffes starting to show some life. However, and Gino Loyola still with a huge lead. 10-5. Into the net, point, Karch and Kent, 6-10.
Kirai and Steffes now on the bad side. Only got 3 out of the 5. The previous stay on the good side. Put a lot more pressure on themselves to score from the bad side.
David, maybe not.
I'll tell you, in any sport, I don't care. Basketball, football, baseball, hockey, volleyball. The great teams know how to make a move, somehow find a way to get back into a match when you're not playing at your best. Oh! Check for damage. Kirai jumps into the cross court, but this was restoring of order in very short fashion.
10-7, and Gino Loyola lead. They were ahead 9-2 at one point, their biggest lead of 7. Kirai and Steffes coming back. Down the line, nice dig. Can Loyola convert? Flipper coming, no. He's been using that a lot. That's the 3rd time I've seen him do that in the tournament. 2 were successful, that one was not.
Great when it works. Up 3, why not take a chance? But the way Gino and he have been blocking and playing defense, I'd like to see him step off the net, take a hard swing into the deep middle, make Kirai and Steffes touch the ball 3 more times.
Karch right to Kent. And it's in there. Here come Kirai and Steffes.
Wasn't great heat, but again, Steffes just doesn't seem to need an approach from the left side. Little pre-hop and then finds a way to get it right off the noggin of the Brazilian and Gino and Loyola.
Timeout taken by Gino Loyola. It was 10-4. It is now 10-8. You look at the all-time career win list. St. John Smith with 135, 13 behind Randy Stoklos. Kirai with 100. He's looking for 101 today. Steffes, Dodd, the retired legend Ron Von Hagen, still in the top 8, and Tim Hovland. Hoping that Tim Hovland, who's injured, and Brian Lewis, also injured, will be back next week. 2 of the most entertaining personalities on the tour, as well as 2 of the best players.
Tim Hovland played with Ricky Ludes last week. They did not fare particularly well. Then Tim re-injured his foot. Not sure how long he's going to be out, but that opened up the opportunity for Eric Fonoy-Moana to get with Ricky Ludes. They finished 5th and looked pretty good.
I think they're going to be a very good team. 8 serving 10. Kirai and Steffes led 1-0, have not led since. And Gino.
See Loyola getting out the hands. I'll tell you, if he gets confidence setting the ball overhand, they'll become a better side-out team.
Second one we've seen.
Loyola usually bump sets the ball, but I'll tell you, if he can get consistent setting over, you're just more accurate, more consistent overhand. You have better control.
Working on Steffes. That was a nice set, and Steffes utilizing the cut shot.
But it looked like Karch is making an effort to get the ball a little bit wider.
Yeah, I think so.
And the wind again changes direction. Had been blowing off the Gulf of Mexico for the longest while. Now changed direction, blowing offshore a little bit. Wind swirling inside the stadium court.
The Loyalists swoop it up, and left hand out of bounds. So suddenly the Brazilians have gone cold, and it's 10-9. Kirai and Steffes within 1.
Left-handed, just never got to this ball. Not a bad-looking swing. You remember Gino was a very good setter indoors for Brazil's junior national team. Was on the national team for a while, and you got to have the good lefty.
Karch and Kent trying to tie it up right here. No, Jose with smoke.
Surprised that they served Loyola. Anginio's the better passer, maybe just looking to change it up a little bit.
I think sometimes I think Karch can't serve. They serve.
Oh, they feel confident.
They just want to hit the ball hard. And suddenly,
Kirai and Steffes have gotten 4 straight points from the bad side.
And 5 total.
Let's go!
Karch.
Nice set again.
And Karch has the dig to tie it up right here. Karch, he's up. Anginio got it up. Over to Steffes. Tied up at 10. All 5 for Kirai and Steffes on the bad side. Coming back to Fort Myers Beach, 10-10. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland at the Miller Lite Open here in Fort Myers, Florida. 10-10 is our score. Anginio and Loyola led by as many as 7 at 9-2. They had a 10-4 lead. Since that time, however, Karch and Kent have scored 6 in a row. 8 of the last 9. The Brazilians are in the tank. They got to get one here. And they do. They get the side out. Important play.
You think back to how Anginio and Loyola were getting their points. Anginio digging Kent Steffes.
Right.
I would go back to that if they can, but Anginio serving from the left. We'll see if he goes at Steffes.
They serve tough, too. A lot of the points early set up by tough serves.
Ball set way inside.
Anginio can't get there.
See, Steffes does that very well. His favorite shot, when he's in trouble, I think, is back to the line.
Right,
and that that ball was dropping inside, but, you know, he really prefers to hit the ball hard cross court. Anginio had to hold just that split second. Stopped him from getting to the loopy over the top.
Loyola got it. Anginio Loyola, their only loss in this tournament to Stoklos and Johnson. Actually, check that out. That was to Karch and Kent earlier.
In the semifinals, right?
Yes.
This is a rematch of the semifinals. It's Anginio and Loyola's misfortune to be seeded 4th, and if things go according to seeds, they play Kirai and Steffes in the
Anginio
semis
with
of
the
every
left.
tournament. Excuse me, Chris.
Got a chance there, but Loyola could not come off the net. 2.5 minutes to play in the game. Tied at 10. Wind really not a factor right now.
No, it's just changing conditions. It's never been really, really bad, but it has been to the advantage of the players occupying the side of Kirai and Steffes when it has blown.
Nice shot. Deep loop to the corner.
Anginio's 12th kill. Kent Steffes leads this match with 15. Of course, he's been served. He's been served 22 times compared to only 7 for Kirai. Make it 8.
Anginio, sweet kick. Looking to go to 11.
Not a great set to work with.
Kent went and got it. Anginio, another spectacular dig. Can he put it away? Yes!
Anginio goes to 8 digs in the match. You could see him reading Kirai. Karch wanted to hammer cross court. Anginio sliding into the area perfectly. And then the one-hand stab and really good set to finish the play by his partner Loyola.
Brazilians by 1, 11-10. Here comes Karch, and Karch hits it straight down. Side out, Kirai Steffes. Karch Kirai won this tournament with Brent Frohoff back in 1989. Kent Steffes won this tournament 1992 with Adam Johnson. However, you saw the graphic. They'd never won it together. Last year losing to Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. Anginio, Karch swats it. Loyola looking for the bomb. Steffes with the dig. And he puts it away. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, defense just dominating this match in both directions. Dig by Steffes, perfect position cross court. And again, good set in transition. You really got to try to take a lot of the spin off, really bend your knees. Good soft platform when you're setting a ball that's been dug like that.
11-all, Karch off the net, and Anginio, maybe his best hit of this game. He got up on about a 3-foot back set and cranked it.
Well, he's got a lot of respect for the ability of Kirai and Steffes to dig the ball and chase shots down, and see him landing on his left leg to protect that damaged wheel on the right side.
Tied at 11.
Nobody!
Steffes, nobody. Oh, Loyola popped it up. Great sit. Oh. Nope, gone over.
Thought that had a chance when it left his arm.
Karch up high. Yeah, we talked about this being the best jumping beach. Players are just flying out of the sand.
And given that, we've seen some great digs as well. When the ball left Anginio's arms, I thought it had a chance to be pretty good. Just enough breeze to carry it over to Kirai and Steffes.
Karch with the serve. Trouble, Loyola. Anginio got to keep it in if he can. Steffes on 2. Point, Kirai Steffes.
No reason to mess around. The defense is completely out of sync, out of the court. You just go quickly on 2. Smart play, and Kirai and Steffes are very good at that particular play. 20-second sand timeout taken by Jose Loyola. He is just covered in this stuff. We're going to take a quick break. Coming back, 1:22 to go. 12-11. Kirai Steffes by 1. 12-11, Kirai Steffes by 1 over Anginio Loyola. Good shot by Anginio. The Brazilians led most of this match at one point 9-2. They had a 10-4 lead. Kirai Steffes scoring 6 unanswered points to tie it up at 10. We were tied at 11. Kirai and Steffes now lead by a digit. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, Fort Myers Beach, second tournament of the year. And the Brazilians trying to beat Kirai and Steffes in a game to 15 for the first time ever. Beat him once last year in a pool play match at the Cuervo in a game to 10, round robin match, I should say.
There's Anginio. And he's off. Karch can't get there. Also got him once indoors, did they not?
Yes, indoors, but never outdoors on the beach in a game to 15.
You know, beach volleyball has really gotten amazing. It's just going to be like, well, they beat him once indoors, they beat him once on a boat, they beat him once on an aircraft carrier, on the soft sand of Tuna Island.
That's right.
Surfaces. Just out of bounds, served by Loyola. 12-11. Kirai and Steffes with 1:06 to go in the game.
Brazilians really taking back-to-back chances with their service game, and the way Anginio's been digging, I'm not sure they need to be that critical, especially from the bad side.
Good pass. Jose sets him up. And Anginio racks it. Good side, bad side now.
Well, you can just look at the flags. You can see Kirai and Steffes are on the good side. The wind is blowing into their faces. Anginio and Loyola in a tougher situation in terms of serving the ball and receiving serve. They'll take a little off here and keep it in, I think.
So maybe if Anginio and Loyola could get to the other side, leading 13-12 or trailing 13-12, they might have a very good shot.
Well, I would say that, except for the fact that Kirai and Steffes got all 5 from the bad side when they absolutely had to have it.
Of course, that's the exception that proves the rule.
Yeah.
4 side out.
56 and 9/10 seconds. Not much time remaining. Not much time needed in this one. A 1-point lead. Kirai Steffes. Jose setting. Great set. I tell you, Jose's got some nice soft hands.
He set 4 out of the last 5 balls with his hands, and nothing to say but nectar. This is absolutely perfect. Of course, the key is his partner is giving him absolutely perfect passes. Anginio's clearly one of the best passers on the beach right now. I think he takes a lot of the spin off. Very consistent, very accurate.
Serving Karch with a rocket. Here comes Karch. And Anginio trying to block him, could not. A little surprised you see Anginio up at this point in the game?
I think, again, the Brazilians have decided to take a lot of chances with their serving, and Anginio said, look, don't worry about coming up here to block. You just bang the serve. Karch is grunting.
He is grunting, baby, and he's hitting it hard. Anginio off Steffes. I tell you what, I disagree. I think you've got to get Loyola up to the net. I mean,
I just think it was a one-time thing.
Okay.
I don't think we'll see that anymore. Anginio's been hitting the ball very, very hard. This time Steffes unable, as he was moving in to take angle, keep his hands over the net.
11 serving 12, 41 seconds to play. Brazilians need a point bad. Going to Jose. He got a piece of it.
Good soft shot.
Steffes. Ooh, and Loyola had it. He just missed it.
Pointing out the good soft shot by Karch Kirai. The ball set too close to them. He just taps it up into the block right there. That's a smart play. Not trying to put it away, and actually trying to hit the block so you can get your partner back involved and get a better set in his direction.
Karch and Kent up by 1. 31 seconds to go, and Loyola puts the hammer on it.
Just a side-out contest. Kirai and Steffes up by 1. Which team's going to make a mistake? Loyola bringing heat. Karch in good position. And Loyola asking for some support from his fans in Fort Myers. You just kissed the ball there, I think.
26.5 seconds to go. Brazilian, no! Down the middle, just long.
He can't hit it as hard as he would like because the wind's coming at his back. And even when he took a little heat off, it still carried long.
Karch and Kent by 1. Put the clock in for you. You can keep track yourself. Karch digs it up. This could be a big point here. An insurance point. Karch got it! Now the Brazilians in deep trouble.
We're siding out for a long, long time.
Well, there's a play you don't see in volleyball very often.
Yeah, you don't see that one every day.
As Karch and Kent lead by 2, 16 and 3/10 seconds. They got to put it down. They got to put it down fast, and they do.
But unlike in the semifinals, when Anginho and Loyola found themselves on the good side against Stoklos and Johnson, now they're on the bad side. Goes without saying, I think they got to score here.
Got to score here. 11 and 7/10 seconds. Trailing by 2. You got to get a point and then get, or at least have enough time to do it. And Karch is going to take a 20-second timeout.
Taken by the team of Kirai and Steffes.
We'll take a quick timeout. We're coming back. Under 12 seconds to play. Karch and Kent up by 2. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, a must-score situation for Anginho Loyola.
And they go to Kirai.
Loyola, oh, they got the dig. 6 seconds to go. On 2, yes! Jose, flipper me! Flipper me! And 4.5 seconds, plenty of time to tie it up. Paul Sunderland, yes.
Got exactly what they needed. The quick score, surprised that they went to Kirai. But Anginho has dug Karch's sharp angle a couple of times earlier in this match. The meeting of the minds. Kirai and Steffes still by 1, but they're coming over to the bad side.
A shot made famous by the great former world champion Andy Fishburne, the flipper on defense, on offense. Now the Brazilians, their first career win indoors in Washington, D.C. They have 4.5 seconds. They're going to have one play strategy. Who do you serve? What do you do?
Well, you can really approach this from a couple of different directions. One, do you just serve the ball in and hope for a play defensively like they just got? Or now that they're on the good side and the wind picking up a little bit, or do you go for it? And the choice is theirs.
Our next event, the Miller Lite Open in Pensacola, Florida. Check your local listings for dates and times of that one, or come down and see us in Pensacola.
They want to put a tag on that strategy. You see the flags a little bit.
Yeah.
Kirai has been known to get a little bit tentative or a little bit conservative in this situation. I don't think you want to take a chance and miss the serve.
Got to get the serve in. Anginho will serve it. Loyola's at the net. One play remaining. 13-12, Karch and Kent. They go to Kent. If he puts it away, the game's over. And he does! No! 4/10 of a second, but the game is effectively over because Kirai and Steffes have the ball. There is no way they can lose.
Pretty good chance.
I agree with you, Paul. I think they should have served Karch. Serve Karch and then look for some kind of a shot, and time is out. So Karch and Kent win their second final of the year. A magnificent performance by the Brazilians, Anginho and Loyola.
Great performance by Anginho and Loyola. Kirai and Steffes coming from way back, but the Brazilians just not going to go away. They were down in the semifinals, came back and won, and almost got their first win this week. They'll get it before this year's out.
Final score, I believe, officially. I don't think the Brazilians got that ball over. And we'll come back and talk back to them after this. Kirai and Steffes. Yeah. AVP Pro Beach Volleyball is brought to you by the Gatorade Company, who reminds you if you're not standing on the sidelines, you're going to get thirsty. Life is a sport, so drink it up. Our Miller Lite play of the game executed by the Brazilians, Anjinho and Loyola. Trailing by 2, they needed a point. They needed it quickly. Anjinho with a dig, and the flipper out of the pass a la Andy Fishburne caught Karch unaware. They got to within 1, but they could not catch up. 13-12, Kirai and Steffes win it. Let's get down to the beach. And Paul Sunderland. Sunday, take it.
All right, Chris, with the winners, Kent Steffes, Karch Kirai. This one was not easy. You guys got way down early. You were talking about it just a second ago. You took them a little bit lightly, didn't you?
Yeah, we've beaten them pretty well the first 2 times we played them this year, and maybe a little bit lightly, and they came out on fire. I mean, Jose was jumping really high, hammering the ball, and they were serving real well.
Got to give a lot of credit to Anjinho and Loyola. Anjinho, a little bit of a knee problem. They got out to the big lead. But is that the best they have ever played against you, outdoors anyway?
Outdoors, no. We lost in a Cuervo round-robin match to them once where they played very well. They played some great tournaments last year. I think part of why we got down was Loyola was playing really well. Anjinho admirably played well with an injury, but we weren't serving him enough early.
Right. One key, you're down at 10-5, then you get all 5 points on the bad side. What happened, or what did you say to one another during that side change?
Well, we said let's get all 5, but we always say that.
Well, okay.
But actually, the important thing was the wind shifted.
Right.
The wind's been going this way all day, and then for those 5 points, it went that way. And we got some good serves off, and we got them in trouble and got all 5.
Now, you looked a little bit upset there when you were down. I think the biggest deficit was 10-4, and Chris said, Karchi's lips are together. He is PO'd, were his words exactly. Get a little frustrated out there?
We were mad at our play. I mean, we shouldn't be down 9-2.
Well, but what specifically? What weren't you doing out on the court that was really making it such a struggle? We're talking about some of the set location, and you were having troubles putting the ball away.
Oh, I threw a ball. That gave him an easy point. We let a couple of serves of theirs go for points that hit on the line when we shouldn't have let them go. I don't think it was so much that we were playing that poorly as they were playing very well, but we were still mad at ourselves you never want to get down 9-2 in any game.
All right. Even though you've beaten them, I think, 3 out of 4 times this year and now in this final, I don't think you'd be taking them lightly, if at all, anymore. Congratulations to you here for the win in Fort Myers. Chris, back to you.
Okay, let's take a look at the final statistics. As you might imagine, very, very close. The kills just about even. Anjinho Loyola, 2 blocks. Karch and Kent did not block a ball. That was one of the factors. And, of course, the rest of the stats relatively even. Chris Marlowe back with Paul Sunderland. Karch and Kent have now won a tournament in Fort Myers, Florida. It wasn't easy. I thought Anjinho Loyola played very well. Karch and Kent were just medium today.
Yeah, they were medium, but I think you got to give a lot of credit to the Brazilians. They've come out and have no reason to have any confidence whatsoever against Kirai and Steffes. They got off to a great start, and then Kent made an interesting point. They came over to what was the bad side, and lucky for them, the wind shifted. Steffes serves an ace down the line. They got right back into it after getting all 5, and the Brazilians played very well, and Karch and Kent got a little wake-up call. The Brazilians are better later in the day. They talked about it.
Karch and Kent have now won 2 in a row, and you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking down the line. Remember, they co-hold the world record of 13 straight tournaments with Greg Lee and Jim Menges. They've won 2 in a row, and I'm thinking about the day. If you don't like Karch and Kent winning every tournament, think about them setting a new record, maybe down the line, 14 in a row. You think they could do that?
Well, you get through a match like this when you win, when you're not at the top of your game. It gets very good competition. It certainly is a good omen in terms of winning 12, 13, 14, 15 in a row. I predicted that they might win as many as 20 all year. Not impossible for them to put together a great streak.
All right. Our Powerade spike of the game, a very impressive one by Karch Kirai. Why was it impressive? Because it's off the dig. Anybody can spike it straight down, even Paul Sunderland off the side apple. Watch Karch. Oh, Pinky hat. He gets the ball. He gets a reasonable set from Kent Steffes.
And this is where he is angry, making the transition play. Karch Kirai comes out of that play, and that's when they continued to roll. The Brazilians did a very good job at the beginning of the match of not allowing Kirai and Steffes to get any momentum whatsoever, but then they scored 5 in a row, and that was it.
Any changes next week? Final thoughts?
No, I'd like to see Brian Lewis out on the beach and wonder, of course, we'll update you, find out what the condition of Tim Hovland is.
How about Lewis and Hovland next week?
I don't think that's going to happen. Not if Beef Bouillon has anything to say about it, and I think Eric Fenoy-Moana and Ricky Ludes will continue to be a factor.
All right, that will do it. Karch and Kent win for the first time ever here in Fort Myers, Florida. For Paul Sunderland, I'm Chris Marlowe. The beach is now officially closed. AVP Pro Beach Volleyball is brought to you by Miller Lite Ice. The night is young. By Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart to fly Southwest, the low-fare airline. By Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care, cruelty-free. Buy the real Paul Mitchell in salons only. And by Powerade, the official sports drink of the Olympic Games. Don't forget, our next beach volleyball telecast, the Miller Lite Open at Pensacola. Check your local listings for dates and times. This event has been sanctioned and operated by the Association of Volleyball Professionals, the AVP, recognized worldwide as the leader in pro beach volleyball. So long, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it.
For that. So circle your calendars. We'll see you on the 17th. For Joe Goosen, I'm Rich Marotta.
At 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the finalists of the 1-800-COLLECT San Francisco Open!
Today, Urban Pro Beach Volleyball. Welcome to San Francisco. And get ready to meet the players.
His partner, Mike Dodd! The number 2 seed, Scott Akatami! His partner, Mr. Cards Kirai!
A great final is just ahead as the Giants of beach volleyball battle in downtown San Francisco.
GGP presents the 1-800-COLLECT AVP Open at San Francisco. Presented by 24 Hour Nautilus.